Oh, looks like it's about to rain. My commute is my therapy. I've noticed that I don't really like to talk when I'm on my way to work. Part of the reason is that I feel like that time between when I've left my home and the time before I have arrived at the office, that small sliver of time is when I feel like I don't have an exact label when I'm on my way to work. That 1 or 1 hour 30 minutes ride. I'm not really a brother or an architect or a content creator. It is my personal void. That little bit of time is the small chance I have to ask myself those hard questions. You know, my commute is my void. This is the only time I allow myself to feel nothing, to have zero pressure and expectations. It's almost like a vow of silence. I mean, since I'm about to work for the next 8 to 10 or 12 hours, I might as well take some time for myself. Sometimes I like to listen to music on my way and drown myself out and just zone out. Sometimes I don't listen to music. Sometimes I just watch outside of the tricycle and try and see what is happening. Sometimes I just listen to the engine of the tricycle as it is roaring and when it is stopping at traffic signs. Sometimes I just watch the tires on other vehicles as they drive by, switching from one vehicle to the next. Sometimes I pay attention to the drivers and their eyes, and I wonder what they are thinking about. Sometimes I see people on bicycles riding to work, and I ask myself if I'll be able to do that. Because I also see students doing the same thing as well sometimes on their way to school. And I ask myself if that is something I can do, be able to ride anywhere on a bicycle. It was a fantasy I had before, but it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of good smartness. Because in all my life, I don't think I've ever seen somebody that is riding bicycle and even with press brake. They have never pressed brake. In fact, when they see a car coming, that's when they even add more speed safe and they find a way out of whatever was going to happen. Sometimes these old people I see on these bicycles, I see them paddling and riding along, and I ask myself, what would life be like in this guy's shoes? Would it be easier or would it be harder? What is worrying this person? Is his worries bigger than mine or are mine bigger than his? It makes me appreciate the kind of life I have, even though it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Makes me appreciate the little things. questions I ask myself is, how long can I keep living like this? Like hypothetically, if there was a time that you would stop feeling comfortable with the type of life I'm living now, how long would that be? And then is there something I'm doing to change how long that would be daily? Is there a plan? Are there specific actions I'm taking? And even if there is a plan, am I following the plan? Because having a plan is one thing, it's another thing to follow the plan, you know. Is this my life now? Is this how my life will be forever? Is this my new normal? Do I want this to be my new normal? I ask these questions almost every day and I try to come up with an honest answer that isn't judged but simply listened to. I do this almost every day. And when I'm not doing this, I just zone out while listening to my favorite song. And then since I used to work as a video editor before, whenever I hear a song I really like, I try to imagine creating a video that would go nicely with the song. And I go really deep. I like even think of which transitions to use and when to cut the footage, which sound effects to use at a specific point, where I'll place the title card, and how long the video will be. How will I stitch this 3-minute song into a 30-second banger? Those are some of the things I think about. Anyway, this is this week's video. My commute is my therapy.